He's a go plaintiff, I think. Hey, everybody. Jesse, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish friends. I don't know whether holidays are going on. Hey, Merry Festivus for the rest of us.
Well, I think we have to, all our fans out in Argentina, congratulations. I'm sure they're celebrating still.
Oh, absolutely. That's you watched. I didn't grow up. Obviously, look at me. I didn't grow up a soccer guy because I grew up in America in the 60s and 70s when the Cosmos were just getting started in New York. But it was a very exciting game to watch. Generally soccer is boring to me, but that was a really well done game. It was
that was
impressive and talented. It was just really fascinating. It's really two different games, Argentina in the first half and France in the second half. And I'm, the only people disappointed that Argentina won are in France. There's nobody else in the world disappointed that France lost.
Yeah. That Mbappe for France was he really did try to put that team on his shoulders, and
he did. He is the whole team there.
Unbelievable player. Yeah, no, it was exciting to watch. I
was disappointed that Morocco couldn't pull out a third place finish, but it's cool to see countries like Croatia and Morocco. Very small countries. These are countries that we have cities bigger than I think of these countries. And But I'm also now you're getting your tickets for World Cup 2026.
They are coming. Boston is a site. So I don't know if they're on sale yet, but I would love to do that.
Atlanta is definitely a site with the stadium we have. So they're not playing at Fenway, are they?
No, they'll be playing in where the Patriots play in Foxborough.
They could have the wall halfway through the field, play it off.
That would be cool. But no, not yet. So.
All right, so we want to talk about a couple of things. We actually only had one question so far. I want to get that out of the way from Trey. Trey, good to see you. What did we say back in September, Jesse? Not till next year. Are we going to get a decision?
Oh, yeah. So. Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of people starting to get inquisitive. Maybe they thought prior to the end of the year, and it could be any day. We don't know until we know. And then, I think the other thing that people need to understand is this may not be the final stop.
The Biden administration, if they lose, could easily appeal to SCOTUS.
They do. If they're going to take 42 up, they're going to, Title 42 and MPP, and they are basically power hungry, right? They want to control immigration law and policy, So if they don't think that the courts are stepping into their domain, they're going to fight it. So,
well, if we win this case, and I feel confident we will win this case, we will have won it with a very conservative panel. And so, I feel good about it. Now, will we appeal to SCOTUS?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I have to see that. And I think we know what, is happening. It's really what Katsas is doing, because Henderson's definitely not voting for us.
I agree. It's all about Katsas.
And Srinivasan is probably voting for us. So there's one, and then Katsas is there. And, and I hope, to his credit, just like he did at the argument, he issues a very, kind of specific decision that really is. And I don't need to make it any bigger than it needs to be so that the class wins for 2020 and then those that are in 2021 win. It doesn't have to be any bigger than that. And so that really just makes it kind of a non-event for SCOTUS, right?
Yeah. I think that's what he's going to – I feel confident that's what we're going to see. All right. Yeah. So I want to jump ship here to a different issue. This is the 601A delay litigation, which we are getting ready to file here. After the holidays, because filing during Christmas is meaningless. We've got plenty of plaintiffs. We're grateful to work with Ayla on this. And this is just one of those things, Jesse, where immigration caused this litigation. This was something that never should have had to have happened. It's again, we've spoken about it. These are folks who are here
waiting without work authorization or really protection from being removed, who need a waiver before they go abroad for a consular interview. They have a qualifying family member, spouse, and they're trying to really go abroad without substantial risk of not being allowed back in. And the design was to keep families together, except now they're keeping families, kind of in dire straits, essentially, because the applicant cannot work and he cannot really have a strong sense of what's going to happen. And the times that they used to adjudicate these were 4.5, 5 months, 6 months, with 90% of
something predictable. I mean, within a rational period of time.
Yeah, and now they keep they've really kind of gone up and to the right, meaning on a chart, so that they're 30 months today, but for all we know, by the time their next administration comes in, what are they, 40, 45 months? I mean, we've seen that happen in other categories, especially those that are sympathetic, like U visas. So,
I was looking historically, they haven't gotten a huge new number of cases. There hasn't been a flood of applications. Yeah. It's just that they clearly stopped adjudicating the cases. They're 34 months today, by the way.
Yeah.
They just stopped. They just took people off the line and put them somewhere else.
I think that's right. And I don't know if this is part of, I know there's been a lot of talk about people who've been shifted, whether, EB-5 space or employment-based space to start, they've shifted resources over to investigations and things like that, and more enforcement oriented, even though USCIS should not be doing that stuff.
They have no legal authority to be doing that.
Fraud, security, and but it's like they talk about a lack of resources and a lack of financial ability to do this, but people pay in advance for this, right? So they get a pile of money and they don't deliver the return, and that's always kind of the mismatch when that argument comes out.
I can't wait to oral argument in this case, Jesse. I really can't. I don't care.
I hope we don't get there, to be honest, because they just need to really just come back to sort of a realm of reason, right? They need to come back to some type of orbit, because they can't rationally think that, husbands and wives can sit there and not work and wait 3 years to go abroad for an immigrant visa. And, these are families, these are families that have bills like everybody else.
And this, of course, is just step 2 of 3 steps.
Right.
That first step is taking 8 to 10 months.
Yeah.
This is 34 months. And if you're Mexican, it's 24 months for an appointment in war. It's a 6-year process and which 5 years ago was an 18-month process. It's it screams it screams at something you shifted and went wrong, or was deprioritized, and it screams intentionality, my friend, is what it screams.
And the whole immigration system is about, people seem to forget the design of the whole system of laws that we have. It's kind of like we have a tax-based system. It's based on income. We tax income, right? Immigration is about families, keep families together, keep them together. And what we're doing is we're basically putting the screws to people who could be working. You got to at least give them work authorization. If you're going to make them wait, and they did this with the EB-5 people.
They can do this. They can absolutely do this administratively. Again, Jesse, this is where the simple solution is. They're not going to do it unless they're sued.
Oh,
they're
absolutely.
Not going to do it.
100%. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Let's go back for a second. Let's look at the DV program, right? We went from 18,000 visas to 24,000 visas to 58,000, right? Or whatever the hell they came up with at that.
I think they may have issued more than they were allotted. But
they did. No, they definitely did. So, again, was that all litigation driven? No, but it certainly didn't hurt.
97% was litigation driven.
It was a lot. Yeah. And they certainly, that program's not fixed. And again, but it just shows that, they probably know this lawsuit's coming. If they don't, maybe they're watching. I don't know. But
and
it's something where for those, it doesn't even matter. I always look at it like, this is not let's just wait and see what happens type of thing. This is something where this absolutely 100% is something that needs, I don't care if a judge has to decide. Judge can tell me I'm wrong on this, and that's fine, and tell the clients, but there's no way people can sit back and wait 3 years. It's just
it's unconscionable. And this is also, Jess, is the problem. You can get a 601A waiver and you go to the consul and they say, well, you committed, so you need another waiver. Well, then you have to get a 601 waiver, which is now taking 27.5 months. And then you're stuck outside the country.
I'll tell you right
litigation, now. Keep an eye out for ImmPact litigation on the 601.
I am rarely self-promotional. I don't really do it a lot, but I'm telling you right now, I would take any 601 case that's been pending 20 months.
Yeah.
I just got a
year pending. You call us
100%.
We'll take it individually.
That's ridiculous because those people are already separated. They're abroad.
Yeah, it's unconscionable. There's no legitimate explanation.
How are they supposed to support themselves? I actually have someone abroad right now. Right, is a Cuban national, and I'm not suing on it because they don't want to retain me. I'm just trying to help them, and they're in like either I think it's Barbados, but he's not a national. But it's expensive to live there.
Yo, yeah.
Like he can't work either. So like, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah, it's again, to immigration, these aren't human beings.
No, exactly.
These are brown folders.
Totally.
They're brown folders. They're just brown folders. They don't care about the people. Oh no, we care about the people. No, you don't, because your actions tell us you don't. What is that?
Well, I will say this.
It's not who you are on the outside that matters, but who you are.
Yeah, no, and I will say this, like this is me as a former government official. I was so guilty of that. And I did removal defense at the appellate level a majority of my time. So I would go to the Circuit Court of Appeals, and I would never, usually, I did have a focus on criminal related removal cases, but it never dawned to me. Like I never put myself, I couldn't really get the sense of how impactful it was. You could, of course, and I did send a number of cases that were wrong back down, but until you're on the side and actually be like, oh, wait a minute, you can't work at all, right? Oh, okay. You can't get driver's license without that? Oh, okay. Then you can understand how foolish it is to treat people this way. It's inhuman.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely outrageous. So let's just give you an update. We should have some 601 stuff by the beginning of the year up on our website. But if you've got individual cases, call Jesse, call me, call Aaron, call Greg, and we can handle those. But if it's over a year, you need to be suing. We need to flood. We need to flood the zone, Jesse. Flood the zone, baby. That's what you need to do. Flood the zone.
Seriously.
Make the judges say, "What the hell is going on with this agency?" That's what you want to have happen. Now we want to just briefly, we have our round 3 that we were going to file that we just didn't get enough plaintiffs, Jesse, for the visa wastage. There's no indication yet that CIS is going to use the 60,000 visas appropriately, and they're not. And so if you've got an individual case that you want to sue on, we'll take it. Jesse, take it. It's a good case. We believe that there's a case there. So, I think enough plaintiffs do a joint case.
Yeah. The difficulty here is, of course, people are exhausted with the litigation on the last 3 years about, especially Indian nationals suffering from this backlog. I think, though, the options are to wait and pretend that this you're going to be treated lawfully under the visa bulletin, and how they deal with that. Or, start to express your rights, because last year they obviously did not issue visas appropriately. They went way out of line. And the difficulty is creating or crafting a complaint that can remedy not only that failure, but also the continuing failure about how they actually, I guess, fill the buckets is maybe the way I can say it.
A great example of that is the visa bulletin that came out for January today.
I know.
Where China and India, EB1 are backlog. That should not be possible with 60,000 additional visas. It should not be possible.
They're putting the screws. And the thing about it is they're just daring someone to say they're wrong because they feel like they have total control over how they allocate these visas. And just like last year, it's plain letter law that they cannot issue They have to issue visas according to the priority date.
Yeah.
Okay.
Period.
Well, listen, I have plenty of examples where 2014s were getting adjudicated, and people who have 2012 priority dates now who are suffering with the retrogression EB2 Indian nationals who are like, what the hell happened to me? You know, and I feel for them. And it sucks. It really does. And the other thing I'll say is this, and I know the word is out on this, and that's fine. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not promoting myself with this one, but if you are current now by the skin of your teeth and you have not been adjudicated, EB2, EB3, if you don't file a lawsuit trying to get your not, I mean, again, you don't have to. What I'm telling you is you may want to think about it, because I don't think these numbers they pause. I think the next way is still back. I don't think they're forward. I hope I'm wrong on that, though.
I think you're right is the problem. I think you're right. Want a quick note on our EB5 Jane filing. We're waiting on the government to file their motion for summary judgment, which should be coming up in early January. I think it's January 3rd is when they have to file it by. Then we'll begin getting more legislation from there. Also want to mention our United for Ukraine litigation. Jesse, you want to give an update on that, where we are for these folks?
Yeah, you know, we just cannot cross the finish line here on a settlement. Just to back up a little bit, you know, our lawsuit was directed at getting the government to understand that the way the law was passed provided for work authorization immediately, meaning incident to status, incident to your admission. And because, you know, Ukrainian refugees, quote unquote, refugees who are now in the United States are entitled to all the refugee benefits except for a green card. Okay. So they've recognized that these people can have work incident to status, and that they should not be paying and should not have paid for it. And we have a little bit of a news on that one, but the difficulty in crossing the settlement is they've recognized that the way that people have entered the United States and been quote unquote stamped, everyone comes in and gets a stamped, is not consistent with their policy statement that they've put out about how only certain people with certain stamps are covered under this new policy that was issued as a result of our litigation. So we're trying to just cross the T's and dot the I's on a settlement agreement so that everybody who's you for you protected gets work incident to status. So what are we going to do about these fees, though, that they charge people?
Well, I think we're going to make them give that money back. They're not entitled to the money. Somewhere between $40 to $80 million immigration pocketed illegally. Yeah. There's a way to get that money back, and we're going to.
This is a real novel one. So if I take money that I am not supposed to have and I steal it from people who are refugees, I don't get to keep it. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see how that goes. I mean, this bothers me a little bit. I guess I'm being a little bit too sarcastic or fresh about it, but I mean, you've already said that they're not going to charge people going forward. So why won't you give these people their money back? I don't understand it.
Well, there's no legal reason they can justify keeping the money. Yeah. So, you know, if they need a federal judge to order them to give the money back, so be it. We'll make that happen. Yeah. All right, a couple other questions here. Messina is happy that American law won't allow Musk to run for president. Elon,
I don't know. Is this going on Twitter? We're going to get
apparently
blocked.
He'll knock us out. Frostman, wishing you Happy New Year. And hopefully, I think late, I mean, again, for Go, I think late January, February is what I'm looking at for this. Let's see. Sorry, outcome. Everybody, a lot of Go people on here. Do you have any rumors about DB 2020? No rumors. There are no rumors that come out of federal court, by the way.
Well, yeah, they only leak decisions in the Supreme Court.
Only Supreme Court leaks decisions, and then of course, Prince Simon. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
my God, is my man. I know. I owe him
great work on DB 2023 this year, and looks like they're going to issue all the visas. I mean, hopefully they're going to, we don't have to sue them in August again.
The guy, Britt Simon, is a damn saint. I'm telling you.
I think I know Josh doesn't want us to sue them again in August.
Oh God, no. There is we're not even. Don't even go there.
Don't even go there.
Not happening.
Well, Jesse, I want you to have a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy your family. I know your boys are probably excited for the extraordinary gifts you've managed to put together for them for this year.
Me and Santa.
Or when you start shopping the next couple of days for your wife. And you join the rest of us husbands that will do our Christmas shopping.
My wife and I have actually booked time this evening because we like to give each other a group, like, we have to do something, experience something. Okay. So we booked tonight to pick out our Christmas gift for each other. But I love it. I mean, listen, it's a time to really reflect, and I do a lot of reflecting on our broken immigration system. It's something that is just when you think it can't get worse, there's another crack and it's like, how much longer can it go?
The crack, unfortunately, is, two cracks today. One, of course, is the southern border, Title 42, which is never meant to be a real immigration law. But even worse, the fact that Chuck Grassley, U.S. Senator, has not allowed Afghan adjustment to be put into the bill. It was immoral what they did here. Immoral.
But I think it just goes to show you, though, the opportunity. Everyone looks at the opportunity like right now, but like Joe came in, and I know he had COVID, but there was ample time when you had control to get that legislation passed, whether it was for Dreamers, Afghan adjustment. It didn't have to be comprehensive, although it should have, but to get nothing, except for actually Ukrainian, and maybe a couple other skinny things. But the fact that we have all these Dreamers, all these people at the border, the Afghan people who honestly protected our servicemen and women, it is really
unconscionable. It's unconscionable.
It just shows you that, that's why we have three branches of government. We have one that's operating against immigration law. We have one that won't do anything, and the courts are the last recourse. That's the way I look at it.
And it's the courts are the only place we have a chance to get for our clients what they need and what they deserve. Jesse, have a wonderful Christmas.
All right, man.
I'm out of here, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.